Hello there, everyone. Zantok here with Nonary Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Virtue's Last Reward, the second game in the Zero Escape series. Now, of course, as you know, this game's already been played on Twitch, and this is all just archive footage, so if you'll just give me a moment here, I'm going to jump back to a previous point in my timeline, and we'll continue with the game.
You chose ally, right?
It's not letting me skip anymore.
Are you sure that was okay?
Yeah, of course. Fi did
You
too.
sound pretty sure of yourself.
Oh, it's not confidence. I already know.
What?
Let's just go have a look, shall we? We'll know pretty quick whether I knew anything or not.
Let's go.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Okay. Expected that. Here's something I'm curious about. When people are like experiencing or like seeing things in other timelines, how is that like mechanically functioning in universe? Because it's like, because we had just done this other timeline, and all of a sudden now Sigma's like, oh no, I know she'll pick ally, whereas he didn't think that before. But Fi knew that we were going to pick Betray, even though we hadn't done it in a timeline yet. So how does that all function?
Points have been...
What the hell, Fi? Why'd you choose Betray again? You chose Ally before.
So you remember it too? The other round 2.
Yes! What? That wasn't even close to the response I'd expected. It felt anticlimactic? Hey, hold on a minute here. You know? You remember how I chose Betray last time in round 2?
Yeah, of course. Why do you think I chose Betray this time? Don't you remember what I said?
I mean, that's what I...
That I'd make you pay?
Whatever. Yeah, I do remember that. Then, this is you making me pay.
Yes.
Are you still going to be mean, or are you just like, oh, he did ally this time, so I won't be mean? Wait a minute. No, that didn't make any sense. Something wasn't right. How could we both know about an earlier round 2? How could there have been an earlier round 2? Was it some sort of alternate history? What the hell was I thinking? That was conspiracy theory shit. Even if there was some sort of alternate timeline or universe or whatever, there's no way I could know what had happened in it. No way I could know. At least, I didn't think there was any way I could know. Clover, come here! I need you to answer these questions. But if I could, then how? I remembered Fi choosing ally, then scowling at me when I broke my promise and swearing revenge.
That was not a smart move, Sigma. I won't forget this. I'll make sure you pay, even if it's the last thing I do.
Why did I know that? Perhaps, more importantly, why did Fi remember it? What the hell did any of this mean? It had happened before, hadn't it? During round 1 of the AB game, when I was playing against Alice, I'd seen something. Fi and I had chosen Betray, but for some reason, I'd seen a reality where we'd chosen Ally instead. Suddenly, I realized that I wasn't alone. I looked up to see Luna, Clover, and Kay. They all began to speak at once.
What happened?
Why did you choose betray, Fi?
Yeah. You're the only one who didn't vote ally.
Fi looked away and scowled. For several long moments, her eyes stared off into the distance, and I could also see her mind working. Finally, she sighed and spoke.
Right. Well, I've got 9 points now.
You certainly do.
So sorry, but I'm out of here.
No! Leap-a-leap. I felt myself speaking before I knew what the words were. A lapsam simul occasion, the Jupiter thing. I am not reading Latin. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. Are you sure this is how you want it to end? What about the Nonary Game? 0. The bombs. We still don't know the truth about any of it. If you leave now, we never will. Is that really what you want? She says yes and just leaves anyway. It's like, well, we tried.
Fine.
Fi slowly let go of the lever. Achievement? Why'd you do that, you Dumas? Why are you making fun of Dumas? Look, I'm sorry about betraying you in another existence. I'm honestly not sure why I did it.
Forget about it. This time you chose ally and I chose betray.
Yeah.
I think we're even.
I mean, technically you've chosen betray twice and I chose ally and I chose betray once, so we're not really even. But fuck it.
What are you talking about?
Here's the unfortunate thing, though, about this game. Like, if you had done the betray path first and then the ally path, we would have missed out on some of the dialogue that had happened. Unless you get the game over anyways and you have to replay it. Maybe that's what happened with the Alice one, where we had, like, the green game over, and then it automatically just went to green. It's like, do you always see the bad version and then you just reload it? I don't know.
When did you betray her? Are you talking about round 1?
No. No. We aren't talking about Ren. We're...
Just drop it. There's no point. I doubt they'd understand even if you did tell them.
Fine. We know Alice is also having these memory things. They could be too. But whatever. You're right.
Huh?
Or maybe they only see things when something is different from their perspective. Like, they've chosen ally in both sides of it, so they didn't see an alternate reality because it was us that did the fuck up.
I don't get it.
Well, at least it seems Fi has decided to remain.
You've really changed your mind? Yeah. I'll stick around a little longer. Like he said, I can't leave until we figured out what's going on.
The AB game will continue until someone opens the number 9 door. If someone reaches 9 BP and doesn't open the door, the game will keep going.
Oh man, that's a relief. Please don't scare us like that again.
The Ambidex gates have closed.
I want to check something. Okay, no, we're still in that part. I want to see, like, what would happen to it when we get past it.
Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the star round.
We're going to go back in that... Because like, I know that unless they add more to this path is about to end. So now I'm just like, how's it going to end? Are there... Wait a minute. If this is when the round 2 decisions are, there's very few times when you get to round 3. Huh. Does that mean, I technically was going on the correct... Well, I mean, actually, you know, the first game hid shit and they added more, so I don't know. Oh, man, that'd be hard to stay with 9BP, though. It's like having one winning card in Uno and choosing not to play it. I mean, you're right, but I feel like, unless... Granted, you know, none of us know how we would actually be in any situations, but I would like to feel like I would stay. Because that would also just be like, what the fuck's going on? And I don't want to just, like, leave and just doom everybody else to death, because I wouldn't want that to happen to me. But I don't know. In that kind of intense situation,
Star keys
I
are
might leave.
required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the star keys.
Okay, so that's how they can go past round
The
3.
ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
As many times as we want, huh? Then that means...
As long as you have the star keys, you can play the AB game as many times as you want.
And we can just all grind up to 9BP and then leave together. You see, it works.
You probably won't be allowed to play it continuously, however.
Oh.
There's a period of time between when the doors open and when the polling ends.
Well, yes.
Based off the last 2 rounds, I think it's about 45 minutes long.
So you can repeat the games once every 45 minutes or so.
Oh, that's right. Didn't
What?
Zero Jr. say something about that?
As soon as the gates close, your colors can all shuffle up automatically.
Yep, and we're all going to be different colors now. And we're all going to be solos.
Yeah, and solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Oh, yeah. What are your bracelets, guys? Looks like I'm a red solo.
I'm a magenta pear.
There's still pairs. Interesting. I thought this would be an all-solo round.
Me too. That means we'll be a team this time. I think we'll do great. Yeah.
Who's gonna be my partner then?
That one Zero Junior line has 8 different versions? Holy shit. Yeah, I was thinking that I didn't remember this line. But I didn't remember being said that same way.
I'm a cyan pear.
They do not appear to be here. I, for instance, am a yellow pear.
There's 4 colors. Wait a second. If Luna and Clover are a magenta pair, Vi is a cyan pair and Kay is a yellow pair, who the hell am I supposed to partner
A
up
cyan
with?
pair, I imagine.
Vi and her mysterious partner.
How do you figure that?
What colors are added together to create cyan?
Green and blue?
What color would you get by adding your red to that?
Red, green, and blue would be white. Oh, that's how it works. Okay.
Exactly.
So you're saying the next set of chromatic doors are going to be white?
Yes,
Well, we already know that.
How do you know?
because I have seen them. After leaving the archives, we found a warehouse very similar to this one. In it was a set of white doors. Well, to be precise, a set of doors which radiated white light.
Yeah, I saw him too. After we were finished in the garden, we went to the same warehouse he's talking about. They had the same little lock thingies. I'm 100% sure they're the next chromatic doors.
What about the people back in the infirmary? Do they know about the white doors?
Yes. If we exclude Quark from their number, then I believe they do.
I wonder what colors they are.
As far as pairs go, we're missing a cyan and a yellow.
If Sigma's a red solo, then we should have a green solo and a blue solo back in the infirmary.
Well, I'm going back to the infirmary. Kind of worried about Alice and Quark.
We should probably all
I'll
go.
go too.
As will I.
Oh, that's right. Wait, guys, hold on. There's something I need to tell you.
What is it?
Go on.
I meant to say something earlier, but I guess there was just so much other stuff going on. I looked at Fi. She nodded back. See, the truth is... Are we just gonna tell them?
What?
Oh no.
Or no, it's the bomb, probably.
You found another bomb?
Yep, okay. Yeah,
Where?
in the garden.
No. That's not possible. We didn't see anything like that.
Could you have missed it?
No. No way. We checked every part of that room.
There was a number on this one, too. It said 1. Since the one we found in the crew quarters said 3 on it,
You
well...
think there might be a third bomb out there somewhere?
I mean, it makes sense.
I think there's a good chance.
Very well. We should split up and find this other bomb. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if we do find it, what are we supposed to do?
That is a concern for later. At the moment, our primary concern should be finding it.
You can't fight an enemy you can't see, after all.
Precisely.
All right. I'll head back to the infirmary and let everybody else know.
Please.
How about we set a time to meet back here, just in case? The time we have left until the chromatic doors open is... Let's see...
Quite a bit, actually.
1 hour and 57 minutes.
I think approximately half of that should be enough. When we have 1 hour remaining, we should meet back at the infirmary. Acceptable?
That sounds good to me.
Right. I'll tell the others too.
Good. Let's go. Zero is obviously Bomberman. He's running around planting them. I mean, that makes sense. I'm very curious about the flow chart. I'm very curious. We're still on that piece. Interesting. If nothing ends up getting extended, like it did in the first game with the true route, then that means, technically speaking, on our first run, we may have been going towards the true ending on that path for it. Again, I love that. Hee hee. Alright, so these are the white doors that Kay and Clifford were talking about. Yep, and there's a lock thing. No question, these are chromatic doors, I guess.
So it seems.
Ah! What did you...
I've been here the whole time.
Why you gotta be creepy like that? I didn't even notice you at all.
I guess your hearing's starting to go.
I mean,
How sad.
it happens. So, what do you want? Why are you even
I'm
stalking
not
me?
stalking you. I just followed you here.
That's pretty much the same thing. But how did you do it? You were totally silent. Are you Batman? Ugh.
I already told you I'm not. Remember? Back in the AB room when we met?
Did you say that? Sure, actually. You also jumped super high, all the way up to the ceiling.
Right. Aren't you curious about that graffiti?
Yeah, I'm honestly more curious about the fact that you have superhuman jumping. Oh yeah, That. Memento Mori. The ninth lion ate the sun. Did a kid write that, or what?
Why do you say that?
Well, they managed to spell ninth wrong. Who puts an E in
You're
there?
right.
Then again, maybe it means something.
Do you know what it means?
I don't have the time to rearrange the letters.
The Latin part.
Oh, hey, give me a little credit here. Even I know what memento mori means. You see it all over the place. As far as I know, it translates to something like, be aware of death, or remember your mortality. Never forget that we all die someday. Some people really need that reminder, honestly. I guess it's sort of a cautionary thing.
What about the other part?
Man, I don't fucking know about the other part. Well, it's exactly what it says on the tin, right? Some sort of conditional about lions and suns. Anything come to mind?
No, nothing. Nothing at all. What about you?
Me? Huh. Well, let's see. Memento Mori, if the ninth lion ate the sun. Memento Mori, if the ninth lion ate the sun. I repeated the words over and over in my head, but nothing. Whatever they mean, it was beyond me. But perhaps Phi. Latin.
Huh?
Don't you know Latin? Maybe you can figure out more of it.
Well, I know a little. More than most people, I guess, but I'm not an expert.
Then how'd you know that phrase? Elapsam simul the Jupiter stuff.
Oh, that. That's from, this.
She unpinned the brooch from her chest as she spoke and held it out to me. I hesitated for a moment, then took it.
Look at the back.
I turned it over. And there it is. The whole phrase. That has a lot of scratches on it. So I guess the I is pronounced like a J in Latin, huh?
Yeah.
And what is
Memento
this?
of my late mother.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's something like a memento.
What does that
She
mean?
died right after I was born. I was raised by foster parents, and they told me where the brooch had come from. Apparently, it was the only thing my mother had left behind.
And what about your father?
Don't have one.
I mean, you
I
do.
guess you could say I was a bastard. I never saw his face, and I don't know his name. I don't even know if he's alive.
So let's just call him Fuckface. Oh. I couldn't think of anything else to say, so I just handed her back the brooch.
That phrase got to be almost like a prayer for me. Whenever I had to make a tough decision, I'd say it to myself. Sometimes I'd just repeat it over and over like a chant. Before long, I had it memorized. Got me interested in Latin, and I started studying the language. Volapsum semel occasionum non ipsi protest Jupiter reprehendere. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. Sounds nice, doesn't it? But it seems kind of funny now. I mean, look at us. We've done what Jupiter can't. We can find our lost opportunities.
Explain.
That's why I followed you here. I thought it would be a good idea to talk to you about all this. Alone.
Yeah, I agree.
There's something else we need to do too, though.
Find the number 2 bomb?
Exactly. So we should get going. I'm pretty sure the bomb isn't in here. There's
Yeah,
nowhere to hide it.
probably in one of these 3 rooms.
So,
You're saying we should go somewhere else?
Yeah. well, come on, don't just stand there. We need to get a move on.
Without waiting for a reply, she turned and started toward one of the exits. I followed. The mystery continues. The archives. Good place to hide a bomb. Now, where the hell do we
I
start
doubt it really
looking?
matters. If it's here, we'll find it eventually.
So, what about that
We
Jupiter
can talk
stuff?
while we look. Now get started.
Okay. I turned to a corner of the room and began to look while Fi spoke.
I'll start with a conclusion I've come to. Our consciousnesses seem to be able to jump through time. No, sorry. Through time isn't really accurate. It's more like we move through worlds.
Worlds?
Yes. I don't mean physical planets in this case. I'm talking about a whole different universe, really. Parallel worlds.
What?
Do you know about the many worlds interpretation?
Yeah, more or less. Kind of. I think I've heard of it once or twice.
Oh, well, I'll just explain it. Let's say, I don't care what it is, but could you move?
Huh?
Scratch your head, cross your arms, put your hands on your hips? Anything?
Okay. I had no idea what this was supposed to explain, but it did as she asked. There's more? Scratch head, cross arms, put hands on hips, applaud, what else? Cheer, blow a kiss, tap dance, moonwalk. Let's tap dance.
What the hell is that?
You told me to move! Wasn't it obvious? I was tap dancing.
Oh, thought you were trying to kill a roach or something. Never mind.
Rude.
Anyway, you wanted to show me your incredible moves, right?
I sure did. Yeah,
But
exactly.
you could have chosen to moonwalk or scratch your head.
True. Aren't moonwalking and scratching your head kinda different?
The details don't matter. Just talking about possibilities here.
Also, who, if you aren't looking at a list of options, would come up with moonwalking? And it's like random, it's like, yeah, I mean, you could have moonwalked. Like, what?
Now, maybe there are other Sigmas in other worlds who did all of those things. All of these worlds and realities are branching off from one another. The choices you could have made branched off from the moment you decided what you were going to do just now. Every moment you make a
Oh
decision,
god.
another universe branches off
It's a flowchart.
on into infinity.
No! Not the infinite flowchart!
Each of those branches is an alternate world. A world where a version of you did something different. Haven't you ever thought about what life would have been like if you'd made different choices?
Honestly, I try not to because that just leads to depression.
What if you'd gone to this high school instead of that one?
That's not part of my choice. It's based on where I live.
What if you hadn't started a study group?
Infinite bad endings. Oh god. That just sounds like life. I think this one's more like, what if I did start a study group?
What if you hadn't told that girl you liked her?
Well, I mean, nothing would have changed.
What if? What if? But are those what ifs really just what ifs? Or are there other worlds out there where you did those things? Anyway, that's the many worlds interpretation in a nutshell.
Man, imagine there's a multiversal event, and like there's other versions of you out there that are like trying to stop it, or whatever, like they're at center for one reason, and a portal in front of you opens like, hey, you're one of me, multiverse needs all the me's. It's like, but what? I play video games? Like, wait, that's all you do? You don't have a power? It's like, no? Oh my god, you're pathetic. We don't need you after all. And then the portal closes, you're just like, well, now I feel terrible about myself and all my life choices.
I simplified it a lot. Doesn't have to be human actions, though. I just used your actions to make the explanation easier to grasp. The actions of a cat, the flight of a bee, the movement of a microorganism, even fluctuations in air temperature. All these can change history.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on a second here. I'll let microorganisms slide. There's no way that air is conscious of anything.
Can you say for sure that you are?
What?
All of your actions are caused by the cells in your brain. If we go down a little further, then you could say all of your actions are the result of atoms or electrons, or smaller particles we haven't even discovered yet. Are those atoms and electrons still you making a decision at that level? How different are you from the air?
This is why I don't like to think too deep about this kind of stuff, because it can just get you in a real fucked up headspace. Imagine, Robin from Fire Emblem summoning an infinite number of themselves with the power of Street Pass to defeat Grima. I'll one-up you, Fire Emblem Heroes. Fire Emblem Heroes confirms the Fire Emblem multiverse. It's canon. Multiple of the avatars in that game are able to meet up in the little home screen. And at one point you meet, like, not only are you summoning different characters from different versions of, like, Fates and Awakening and whatnot, but you actually meet different versions of the OCs, too. It's like, well, fuck. Alright.
I'd say not much.
Kieran, now it's summoning time. You right.
Human existence is just one part of reality. Falling in love is like a tulip blossoming. A tulip blossoming is like a tornado forming in South America.
What?
See what I'm saying?
Well, you lost me
What
at the
really
tulip.
matters is the action of the most elementary particles of matter. That's where history happens. That's where universes branch out.
While Sigma's brain explodes...
Hey, you stopped. Are you done with that shelf?
Oh, no, brain melting.
Well, keep looking while I
Becoming cheese.
How familiar are you with quantum physics?
Not at all.
Never mind, don't answer that. I'll try and keep it simple for you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Hey,
Yeah.
hand me that box, will you?
Okay. God damn it, mouse wheel. The old saying, a butterfly's wings flutter can cause a hurricane on the other side of the planet. Okay. I mean, that's the thing I know, because I've watched the Butterfly Effect movie. But the tulip was like, wait, what? Falling in love was like a tulip, but a tulip was like a fucking tornado? What? You want the dice box? You can have it. Fuck the dice. I handed the box I've been examining over to her. She set it down on the desk and opened the top.
Also... there's a stuffed lion over there. Perfect. He's part of Felidae, too.
With that, she grabbed the lion and tossed it unceremoniously into the box. She also took a weight and an ink jar and put them next to the lion.
Alright. Everything's ready.
Ready?
Remember that book in the crew quarters about Schrodinger's cat?
Yeah. As soon as you put the lion in the box, that's where my mind went.
It relates to all this stuff I've been talking about. Anyway, come look at the box.
What about looking for
It'll
the...
only take a minute. Now look.
I shrugged and peered into the box.
What do you see?
A lion, a weight, and an ink bottle. Well, there's a stuffed
From
lion.
now on, that's a cat. A
Sure.
living cat.
Okay.
This is important. Got it?
Yes. I see a living cat. Meow.
Oh, man.
But did you have to make it about cats?
This again?
Sorry. I can't help it.
I find that hard to believe. Ugh. Fine. Maybe I can just ignore it.
For what it's worth. I'm sorry.
Alright, what else do you see?
A weight that's not even a pond. And a jar of ink.
Right. Now the weight is going to be radioactive material. And the jar of ink is full of poisonous gas.
What? I'm getting out of here.
Idiot. It's not really full of gas. This is just hypothetical. imagine that it's full of gas. So, what's the weight?
Radioactive material.
And the jar of ink?
It's full of poison gas.
Exactly. Good work. Now, there's one other thing you need to know about the jar.
What?
If it's struck by any of the alpha particles the radioactive material emits, it'll break. These particles are emitted randomly, but there's a 50% chance that one of them will come into contact with the jar over the course of an hour. So let's close the lid. And pretend an hour has passed. Here's the question. Is the cat inside of the box alive or dead? You can't open the box to check. And you can't hit the box. Obviously, you can't shake it either. It's also been soundproofed, so the cat could be howling up a storm in there and you'd never know. Basically, you have no idea what's going on inside the box. Do you remember what happens if the alpha particles hit the jar?
Dead cat. It breaks, gets to the box, the cat inhales it, and death will whisk her away.
And what if the jar doesn't break?
No, then the cat lives to tell the tale.
Haha. And what are the chances of either of those things happening?
Yeah, about 50%.
Uh-huh. So, what's your answer? Is the cat alive or dead?
I can't personally know.
Then guess. It's not hard. Alive or dead?
It's dead. The world's a harsh place for a cat. I have a feline, the poor kitty's dead.
Nope. You're wrong.
It's alive?
That's wrong too.
Then what's the right answer?
The answer is that it's in a state where it is neither dead nor alive.
What? How does that make any sense?
It's an extrapolation of something we see at the atomic level. We don't know if an atom is spinning upward or downward until we measure it. Before it's measured, those two possibilities coexist. But as soon as the measurement is taken, obviously, only one possibility is the truth. That's what's happening with the alpha particles. Since we can't know when they were emitted or where, we only know the probability that they'll impact the jar. Because we can't observe anything that's happening in the box, that becomes the entire system. In other words, the box is like the atom. We don't know how the cat's life or death situation has resolved itself until we look at it. Until we do, it's just a bunch of possibilities. Do you get it?
Pretty much.
The cat in the box is possibilities.
Then it's both alive and dead.
Right. So, let's open the lid.
I remember, I think this was the last generation from Gen 8. There was fake leaks talking about a ghost normal type cat. And people were just like, oh man, it's going to be based off of Schrodinger's cat. And it's like, is it alive or dead? And I was like, man, that'd be cool. We didn't get it. That did not end up happening. I really wish it did though, because that would have been fucking awesome. I think they call this case a superposition. I don't know that.
And when we do, all the possibilities will collapse into a single truth. Meow. What a relief, huh? Looks like the cat's alive.
That lion meows at me, I'm gonna
That's
freak.
Schrodinger's cat. The many worlds interpretation is one theory for explaining that weirdness.
So, there's another world out there where this cat died.
Yeah, that's the idea. Looks like that cat tick of yours cleared up.
Yeah, sure has. Well, your story was pretty insane.
Insane?
You don't think so? I mean, just the idea of something being alive and dead at the same time. And at the moment the lid is open determines whether or not the cat's dead, then... I mean, it's almost like events in the future can determine the past. I mean, the cat doesn't die when you open the lid, so it must have already been dead.
You've experienced it, haven't you?
What on earth are you talking about?
Think back. Remember round 2 of the AB game? When you chose betray, what was my vote?
Ally.
But what happened this time?
I chose ally and you chose betray.
Right. And both times, I put in my vote a full minute before the deadline. When did you push the button?
Right before the deadline, like literally the last
I see.
second.
Well, that makes this a little easier to explain. If you chose betray, then my vote was ally. If you chose ally, then my vote was betray. But I made my choices a whole minute before you made yours. Don't you think that's strange?
And then Alice said she had made hers as soon as she went in.
You do see what I'm saying, don't you?
That my choice in the future altered your action in the past.
Yeah. From your perspective, there's no other way to interpret it.
Now that I thought about it, round 1 had been the same. When I'd chosen ally, Alice had chosen betray. And when I'd chosen betray, she'd done the opposite.
Look at this die. I found it over there. Let me give you one last example.
As she spoke, she tossed the die into the box and quickly shut the lid.
All right. Answer this question. What number is the die on?
6. It's probably 6.
Okay. I'm going to open the lid. Good job. You got it right.
That was just a fluke.
Was it?
Huh?
Let's think about what was going on before I opened the lid.
Imagine, I'm gonna open the flowchart. At this point, it's gonna be like, there's now 6 choices. It's like, oh god.
What number was the die on?
6, of course.
Haven't you been paying attention? The die is still a collection of atoms, isn't it? I don't think you can reasonably suggest that it was made of some different kind of matter.
Wait, so you're saying that before you opened the lid, the die was on all the numbers?
Uh-huh. That's one way to look at it, at least.
And then when you opened the lid, it was just one number.
Or it might have become that number when you declared which one it was.
What? Wait, what the fuck do you mean by that?
In the future has an effect on the past.
That's crazy.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. We got a little off topic there, but I think I made my point.
As off topic as my on topic podcast episodes get. Oof.
Reality separates off into an infinite number of branches for each and every possibility. You and I seem to be able to jump from branch to branch. Of course, our bodies aren't doing the jumping. Our consciousnesses just sort of dive into other versions of ourselves in other worlds.
Whoa. I think I get it now. That's how you do my name, right? You jumped in from another world. That's how you do all those other things you shouldn't have known.
That's the best I can figure out, at least. Unfortunately, it seems like we don't retain all our memories when we jump. Maybe we only remember particularly important things. I'm not sure how it works, but whatever the reason, it seems to be fairly limited. And often, we don't seem to remember jumping at all. Things will just sort of pop up.
I remember jumping. That's why when someone asks us how we all know X, all we can think of is just say, I just knew.
Yeah.
What's causing this then? I don't remember ever doing this before, so why would it start now?
If we knew that, I don't think we'd be having so much trouble.
Yeah.
It's just...
Just what?
Well, I'm pretty sure it has to do with why we're locked up in here. There's no way this doesn't have something to do with whatever Zero Senior's trying to do. Why would he have left that Schrodinger's cat book in the crew quarters?
You aren't kidding, are you? Maybe this is some sort of huge Schrodinger's cat experiment. And all 9 of us are locked up inside the box, right meow.
What if you've got it backwards?
Backwards?
We're outside of the box, and the rest of the world is inside.
I mean, technically speaking, both. Just depending on your perspective. Like, if we're gonna take it to this far, I mean, my door is closed. I don't know what's on the other side of it. There could be a guy with a gun there. I don't know. The way this is going, they both are and aren't. The moment we step out of this place...
Yeah. We might be determining the history of the world outside.
No way. I had 1,000 other questions. But before I could open my mouth to ask them...
Oh, good. There you are.
Okay, is this good news? Is this bad news? I can't tell when all you can do is a psychopath smile.
Did something happen?
Yes. We found it.
Found what?
What do you mean, what? What else could we find?
I mean, you could have found the bomb, you could have found more medicine, you could have found a way out, I don't know.
The bomb.
Okay.
The other antimatter bomb. The number 2 bomb is in the control room.
Is this it?
Yeah.
This is one of them, all right.
And it's number 2, apparently. Well, at least we found them all now.
No. There could be more.
Agreed.
Like Kay said, there might be a number 4 bomb out there.
Or 5,
Yeah,
6, 7,
no way to
8,
know.
9! 9 persons, 9 bombs, 9 doors? Did you tell anyone else about this, Clover?
Well, not really. But, I wasn't the first person to find it.
Who was?
Man, I'm not sure if you're referencing Solid Snake or referencing Snake in the first game. But yes, Snake does need to look out, most likely.
Kay and Luna? After they found it, they came to the infirmary and told the rest of us.
Probably Solid Snake, if I'm honest. Wait, who was in the infirmary? I wasn't paying attention. We were talking about snakes.
Tenmyoji and Dio were there. So were Alice and Quark, of course. Although they were still asleep.
So everyone who wasn't asleep knows about the bomb. I see.
Yeah.
There's nobody else here, though. Where'd they all go?
Right after we came here to look at the bomb, they all left. They were going to go look for you two.
What about Alice and Quark?
They're the same. Still sleeping. We checked them out just to be sure, but they seemed fine.
Oh, because the bomb was planted next to the cardboard box. Yeah, that makes sense. That's good. But not for Snake. That's actually really bad for Snake. Fine, I looked at one another and let out a small sigh of relief.
Oh, right. I checked everybody's bracelets when we were in the infirmary. Did you want to know what they were?
It took her only a moment to explain. Alice was a green solo. And Quark was a blue solo. Dio's bracelet made him a yellow pair. And that means I get to team up with Tenmyoji! Yes! Because he's a Scion pair. So, what are our options for
The
groups?
next set of doors to open are going to be the white doors. That means we'll have to mix our colors so that we get white.
Which, from the way I think it was Kay that explained it, we don't have a choice. But why you lay it out what that would mean? Option A. Oh, I guess there are options, really. Phi, Tenmyoji would pair with me. Kay and Dio would pair with Quark. Clover and Luna would pair with Alice.
Huh? There's only one option?
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah. Any other combinations don't make white.
What about Alice and Quark? Luna said it's going to be a while until they wake
We'll just
up.
have to carry them. The secondary doors won't open without 3 bracelets. And if we can't open them...
Yeah, we'll get penalized.
Exactly.
Don't worry about Alice. I'm on her team.
Are you saying you can carry her?
Yeah. Well, I can get Luna to help me.
Okay.
True. I'm sure she'd be happy to help.
What about Quark?
He's on Kay's team. There shouldn't be any issues there.
Well, we still need to figure out what we're going to do about this bomb. Alice said we should be safe as long as it's not triggered with the remote.
Maybe, but we can't just leave them here forever. I mean, if they go off, then everything in like a couple 100 kilometers is gonna get fried.
Listen, I don't care about a couple 100 kilometers away from here. I care about the fact that we'll be dead. So wait, a couple 100 kilometers? What are you talking about? That bomb should only have about as much explosive power as a ton of TNT. Which is nothing to sniff at, but it's nowhere near the kind of yield you're talking about.
Could be. What if these bombs are just like the detonator?
Oh. Oh. You mean there might be a bunch more anti-hydrogen bombs around here somewhere? Yep. Right over there.
The reactor.
Yeah. There are supposed to only be 18 antimatter reactors in the whole world. If that's one of them, then there's a lot of anti-hydrogen.
How much? That's a lot.
3.5 kilograms.
3.5. That's like 10,000 times more than Alice's 350 milligrams.
There really is that much. And if it does explode,
Then we would be looking at an explosion roughly 10,000 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
In other words, we're fucked. That's insane.
Wait, Clover, how did you know that?
How did you know that?
know what?
That stuff about antimatter reactors.
Well...
She
that's,
just knew.
During my training, they...
Training for what?
My job?
Which is? I didn't realize that waiters these days need to memorize how many operational antimatter reactors there were worldwide. Or how much fuel each one of those reactors might be storing. You don't work at a cafe, do you?
Did you hear about that from Alice?
I don't remember, honestly. But Sigma says yeah, so we'll go with it.
Well, she's right then.
And why are you using antimatter reactors at a cafe?
That's, what we call the coffee machines.
Horrible lie. Horrible lie. What? Are you fucking with me?
I'm telling you the truth.
Now here's the real...
Cafe.
Yeah, she works at a cafe at a military base that deals in anti-particles. And she overhears the people talking. That's what it is. She just works at the local Starbucks inside of the top secret military complex. That's all.
It just might, be a kind of fake job to divert attention.
Yeah.
I think they call it a cover.
Yeah, we figured that, Clover. What?
And what's your real job?
Spy.
I'm sorry. I really can't tell you anything else.
Yeah, because they don't. I don't think you're gonna have to worry about blowing your cover
Why
here,
not?
Clover.
It's classified.
I don't think that matters here. Classified by who?
Government?
Yeah, it figured that much.
Government?
That's right. Alice said it was her job to eliminate enemies of the state, or something. So you two do work together. Clover is mentally figuring out in her head right now if she needs to kill me, and she's trying to figure out where's the nearest axe.
Oh no! Check your bracelets. How much time do we have left?
What are you talking
How
about?
long until the doors open? Come on, quickly!
It's like 20 minutes. It's only an hour. Damn. We were supposed to have met up 5 minutes ago.
I'm heading back then.
Yeah, nice way to get out of the conversation,
Remember,
Clover.
we're supposed to meet at the infirmary.
Yeah,
You
why don't
guys
you just
are
go
alone,
with us and we
okay?
can talk?
Bye!
She skedaddled so fucking fast. Ah, damn it. Clover, why do you always have secrets? And she's gone. Fine. She's right, you know. We need to get going.
Hold on. I need to check something really quick.
Okay. What though? What's on the
there
floor?
you are.
Something was on the floor there.
You're late. What were you doing?
Talking.
Nothing.
When we arrived, everyone else was already back. Quark and Alice hadn't left, of course. They were both sleeping soundly. Any traces of the madness we'd seen earlier, long gone.
Clover told us. You've seen the bomb in the control room.
Yeah, with our own eyes.
What the hell should we do? That makes 3 bombs.
Well, we have to do something. They're bombs, for God's sake.
There's a quick and simple solution.
Really?
Remember what Alice said?
There should be an emergency deactivation password. If you enter that password, the device should, well, deactivate.
Well, we had the device, but we don't have the
You see
password.
it? Right here, there's a port. If we can find the password input device, we just connect it here. Then we can enter the password.
So, if we have the password, we can deactivate them?
Whoa, hold on a second. That's great and all, but we need that password input device she was talking about. Without that, we're still boned even if we did have the password.
Not a problem. We've resolved that issue.
Huh?
Show them.
I nodded and pulled it out of my pocket.
That was in the safe in the control room.
Exactly. We didn't have any idea what it was at first, but Vi figured it out. After Clover left, we tested it.
Turned out I was right. It fit perfectly.
Couldn't get to do anything though. It plugged in a couple of random characters, but all we got was an error.
Still, I'm sure this is the thing Alice was talking about. We just didn't have the right password.
But why was it in the control room?
Nah.
Do you think Zero Senior put it here for us?
Oh yeah.
That would suggest it was also Zero Senior who set up the bombs.
Doesn't that seem odd, though?
Looks like a first-gen BlackBerry phone? Yeah, I kind of thought that it looked like a BlackBerry.
Zero Senior wants us to play the Nonary Game, right? So why would he set bombs?
Maybe
To
he wants to
increase
blow
the
this whole
tension.
place up if someone commits some crazy violation of the rules?
That doesn't make sense. Our bracelets already have poison in them. If someone breaks a rule, all he has to do is activate their bracelet.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, whatever the case is, there's one thing we can be sure of. The person who set these bombs is one of us. Whether or not that person is also Zero Senior isn't particularly relevant at the moment. But what is relevant is that they know the deactivation password. If we can figure out who that person is and question them.
We can get the password and turn the bombs off.
Alright, Quark, wake up. We gotta ask you some questions.
Exactly. That would be my quick and easy method. So fess up. Which one of you set the bombs? Not that I expect you to do that. So, we're going to be checking everyone.
How do you mean?
Checking us.
Yeah, Kay, take off your mask.
Yes.
I want to see Ace's head behind your mask.
Once they're set, the bombs are controlled by a remote.
This is Ace's revenge against Clover, or I guess. I don't know.
It stands to reason that whoever set them has that remote.
Or it's in another room that we haven't gotten to yet.
So you're gonna search us for it?
Yes. But no buts. If you refuse, that implicates you. Do what I say and you'll be fine, assuming you are actually innocent.
But who's gonna search you?
Understand? No reason to wait. Let's get started. Anyone want to volunteer to go first? No? Alright. Let's see.
Start with me. Wait.
Huh?
You only need to search one person.
What? Why?
Because I figured out who did it. I did? I know who did it. The words were out of my mouth before I'd even realized I was saying them. Are we just gonna pick somebody and it's gonna be like, you're right no matter what? Like the whole thing with the dice?
How can you... There's no way.
Yeah. Or are we just trying to like make somebody scared? Because I could see that. I met Fizz's gaze and nodded, then turned away. I know who set the bombs. That person to be continued. There's a lot of Alice in that flashback. That person! You did it! Why are we Ace Attorney? The room was suddenly silent. Yeah, there's the to be continued. There was a lot of Alice in those flashes of images, though. A lot of Alice. Okay. Well. And that's the end of the path, but it's a lock. Okay, this doesn't say unlocked, though, so that's kind of weird to me, but that doesn't say unlocked. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and end this episode of Virtue's Last Reward here. I'm sure some things happened, people probably talked, maybe we saw the puzzle or learned an exciting revelation or so. I'm not sure. This all happened for me months ago. But hopefully, it was a good episode. At least I had a lot of fun, playing through it. And we'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.